And we're live.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da. We don't have music yet, so I had to
Welcome to
do
the
something.
podcast.
What's up, man? What have you been up to? Jesus Christ, you're just waking up. It's fucking 10 o'clock at night here. I've been awake for 13 hours already, and you're just now
Are you
getting up and
serious?
around.
Jeez. I've been awake for an hour.
For an hour. It took you an hour to get ready?
I took a shower.
That's a that's a good place to start. I have a question for you, and I've been thinking about this fucking all day. So like because of our time difference right now, right? Because like for me it's 10 o'clock at night roughly.
I
For
think I
you
know what
it's
you're going to say.
oh, what do you think I'm gonna say?
You're in the future, right? So we could like bet on games. You already know the results.
No, 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 no. That's a good idea, but it's not quite that futuristic. You just woke up, right? Like you're just now coming up, being
I
awake,
woke up like this.
starting a new day. But no, but my question is I want to know is like if you remember what you dreamed about last night.
Let me think. No. I feel like I know I dreamt, but is it dreamt? Is that even a word or is it dreamed it?
Dreamt. Fuck, you would ask an
I
English teacher. Dreamed. What did you? I dreamed. I dreamt. I dreamt.
I
Yeah,
dream
maybe it's
it.
dreamt with a T. Yeah, Dreamt.
I
Dreamt.
think it's dream with two E's.
With two E's. Take away the A. Just throw
Like
an E in
geese.
there.
No, I don't remember. What about you?
Okay, well, the only reason I'm asking is because I had a dream a few weeks ago that has been one of the funnest dreams that I have ever had in my life, and I remember it to this day because it was so fucking fun. Now,
I love dreams like that. Where like they're so
okay.
fun, you wake up and you're disappointed in your own reality.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing about this dream is like there was a point to where I woke up and I was like, shit, that was awesome. And I was able to go back to sleep and kind of like find my way back into the dream that I was having before I woke up.
Oh, I've done
Okay.
that before.
All right. So this dream, all right. I had I had a wish board.
A wish board.
A wish board. All right. It was about the size of like, maybe like a fucking maybe man, what's that cell phone that's like the size of a
A
cutting
jitterbug.
board? What's that big stuff? Man, it was just a board, okay? I mean, it was a fucking board, like the size of maybe like a half of a cutting board. But it was a board, okay? And it was my wish board. And I could wish on it and shit would happen. But I'd have to hold it up to my head, kind of like a cell phone. And I'd have to like say things into it like, I wish, blah, blah, blah. And shit would
Of
happen.
course, your dream would have a big old board of wishes. Like you couldn't have a lamp. Like you just rub the lamp, and a genie comes
No,
out.
it
You
was a
ask for.
board. I tried to keep... It was a board. I had to keep it simple, and it was
You need
fan.
to work on your dream imagination.
I probably should. But it was so simple, man. Dude, this board I had, I would hold it up to the side of my face, basically like a cell phone, and I'd be like, and I would tell people about, yo, 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 come look at my wish board. Like, check this out. And I'd be like in the living room, and I'd be like, I wish that couch was purple. The couch was turn purple. All right?
What the hell? I'm guessing you had unlimited wishes.
I,
Please tell me you had unlimited wishes.
well, of course, man. It was my own wish board. I could wish for whatever I wanted to.
That is awesome. I would be so pissed, like waking up and not having the wish board. Oh my god.
I wasted
Fuck
it on a
that.
purple couch.
Yeah. You got three wishes. Turn that couch purple. I don't believe you. Boom. You got two wishes.
But I would go and I'd find people. I'd be like, yo, this is my wish board. I can make a wish and it would come true. They'd be like, nah, I don't believe that. Back. Watch. But dude, I spend the whole night with my wish board just walking around places and just making these random wishes. And I don't know. A lot of crazy shit happened, but it made me think of that when I wanted to talk to you because like it was one of the craziest dreams I ever had was a piece of wood that was like my magic
With
genie.
wishes. What
And
if it was like wish specific? Like you could only turn pieces of furniture different colors. Like go around fucking with people.
Oh, I'm so mad. I wish that chair was yellow.
Yeah. Every time you come over, this couch turns
Maybe.
blue. Like I
Oh
don't see
man.
it. But
But anyways, it was just a weird dream. I had to ask you because it was just a weird dream that like I look back on and I had a lot of in the time that it was happening. I had a lot of fun in the dream, and it was just something that was just kind of crazy. Anyways,
yeah, I've
whatever.
woken
Moving
up
on.
before. Like I remember one dream. I don't know why so specifically. My aunt came over on Thanksgiving and gave me a present, and it was wrapped, and the wrapping was like the same pattern as my pillow
Did she just
case.
give you another pillow?
And I woke up and it like faded into I was seeing my pillow. I was like, what the fuck? I never got to open the present, and I was pissed.
So to this day, do you still wonder?
First of all, I was pissed it wasn't Thanksgiving. You know, I was pissed I didn't have a present. It was a terrible day. I was like 8.
So like every time you look at that pillow, does it remind you of that dream? And you're just like,
I
man.
don't have the pillow still. I don't know where that pillow went. It was lame anyways. It was like white with green pinstripes.
That's funny. All right, man. I gotta ask. So like you said, you woke up this morning, or well, I guess it's yesterday morning for you. It was the first day of
We
hunting,
all do.
first day of hunting season. But you said it was like the first day of hunting for fucking turkey, deer, elk, pheasant, runaway slaves, whatever you mentioned. And like,
Oh,
so like, what happened? What happens when you go out on the first day of hunting? Is it literally like anything you see move in the trees a couple hundred yards away? You're like, ah, I gotta shoot that.
no, no. I try to look for a mature animal. And so, like, if a yearling, you know, or a spike or something comes by, I'm not going to shoot it, obviously. And then you get a deer tag, like a general deer tag, and that applies to a whitetail buck, a muley buck, or a muley doe. And you only get one of those a year. So you don't want to use that tag on a muley doe. So like I've seen several of them over here.
Do you mean like one deer a year? Not like one buck, one doe, just one deer period.
Yeah, your general deer tag only applies to like a whitetail buck, a whitetail doe, a muley buck, a muley doe. But you can get this deer B license, and then you can have all the whitetail you want, but no muleys, you know, because their numbers aren't doing as good as the whitetail. There's definitely a limit on the whitetail. I read a hunter can possess up to 7 tags for a whitetail. So you can get 7 whitetails, it sounds like.
7. That seems like a lot. Is like the overpopulation really that serious?
Dude, you wouldn't believe it.
Like, is it possible that every hunter could actually tag out at 7 deer in a season,
Yeah, but they know they won't.
and everything would be okay?
Yeah, that's like if every hunter got 7 whitetail, the ecosystem of the whitetail would still be fine. That's how many there are.
That's bizarre, man. That's a lot of fucking deer.
My grandpa was telling me he didn't even see him when he was a kid. You know, like there was hardly any out. And now, because of hunting, um, they're everywhere. Same with turkey, you know, same with a lot of these species because that money goes towards, you know, being able to hire law enforcement to enforce regulations and like keep guys from poaching, and then it even builds habitats and
Dude, that's like an equation that would even confuse my Chinese neighbor. Is like the more animals you kill, the more population they become. How does that even work out mathematically?
well, in the beginning, like my grandpa's, you know, when he was my age and he didn't see many deer, there's no way you could get 7 tags. You know, it was like a steady growth. So like maybe each hunter was allowed 1 tag. So you go through there, you take the mature animals, and a lot of times they'll tell you you can't shoot a spike or you can't shoot a doe in this area. And it just creates balance. You know, like one area you might have too many bucks and not enough does. So you open up only antlered animals in this area. So they take out some of the does, the bucks. The bucks breed with the does, and then they have more babies, and then pretty soon that ratio turns, and then all that money guys were spending on tags just goes right back into it.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
And equipment,
Science,
like
man.
even hunting equipment and rifles and all that stuff is like taxed for wildlife conservation. So like a ton of those sales go to right back into wildlife. You know, like who else is doing that besides hunters?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty
It's
cool.
interesting, man. It's science, man. The people who figure that out, like
Science!
how to kill a bunch of animals, but when you kill a bunch of animals, like it balances out the
Yeah.
number and life of other animals. That's just weird. It's just a weird equation that doesn't really make sense to.
Bison is a perfect example. Like the fur trade, these guys would come in and
Yeah.
just wipe out the bison, you know, and wipe out all these species just for like a particular part, maybe the hide or something, and they just leave everything behind. And then Theodore Roosevelt, he was a big time hunter, so he's the guy he's
Yeah.
the reason why we have 30 million acres, you know, free hunting land and it's not even hunting. You go hiking, kayaking, fishing, I mean, camping. That's all because of him and like his regulations and his passion for conservation. So he saw that these animals were getting wiped out. And he's like, look, okay, we got to border this off. This is national forest. There's got to be regulations. We need the money to hire people to enforce it. So what we're going to do is, you know, get with these biologists and try to get these numbers up and keep everybody from coming in here wiping shit out.
It's really cool though that like they've been able to figure it out to like get to that point to where it can become a sport, but it keeps everything regulated and it's not like endangering species, and it keeps everybody who are, you know, active in that field of hunting and whatnot, and to keep everybody happy, to keep the environment happy, to keep people happy, and to just find that right balance to make everything work. That's pretty cool. I like that. Dylan, how do you feel about vegans?
I don't mind, honestly, like the whole being healthy, and I think everybody's body is different. So like everybody needs different nutrition or whatever works for them. You know, I don't give a shit. But, you know, for me, obviously I'm a wild game eater.
I think my only problem with vegans is they're like, hey, I'm vegan. You know what I mean? It's just
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay, bro, I get it. Like, that's cool. You don't have to eat meat. But they're like, no, 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 you don't get it. I'm vegan. It's like, all right, that's cool. I don't think I could do it, man. I don't think I could ever
I
go
know, I'm the
vegan.
same way.
Like, in a way, like, I don't even consider it a meal unless there's meat somewhere in that meal. It's hard for me to think of the last time I ate a meal to where I only ate vegetables and there was no kind of meat. I'm still hungry if I don't eat a slice of pork or bacon or whatever when I eat.
For
But
sure.
whatever, it is what it is.
I feel the same way. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Dylan, I gotta tell you about something that I saw the other night that.
I can't wait because
Oh
I
my
know you're
God.
in China and like I was there for 2 weeks with you and saw just all kinds of crazy shit. I mean, I think about that guy looking at my dick daily.
Saturday
Traumatized.
night,
I
man.
think I need a
We
therapist.
got off work. We got off work, man. We're gonna go to this bar and hang out, you know, have some food and some drinks. But before we did, Jody needed to go down the street and get a soda because they don't sell her soda at the bar we wanted to go to. So anyway, so we're going to this store to get some soda. We walk past a little restaurant and there's these two young kids arguing. Man, they're like 17, 19 years old. They're kind of arguing back and forth with a little to each other. And I walk
What
by
are they
and I'm
saying?
thinking like, man, fuck, I don't know. I don't speak Chinese. They were saying just shit to each other. I could tell they were arguing. You know,
Yeah.
they definitely weren't having a conversation about, you know, yesterday's episode of fucking whatever. Anyways, they were arguing, all right? And so Jody continues to guess it, and I'm like, no, something's about to happen here. And so I stopped and I started watching them, and sure enough, one dude grabs the other guy's throat, and then the other guy grabs his throat, and they start like spinning around in circles. And the next thing you know, they just start fighting each other. Just in front of
Wow.
this restaurant, they're just fighting each other, throwing punches at each other. One guy pulls his leg up, trips the other dude, takes him to the ground. And they're just fighting each other on the ground. And Jody's back in this restaurant. I'm like, man, I need to. This is awesome. I need to get this on camera, right? Even though
Yeah.
everything in China is already on camera. So I walk a little bit closer and I pull my
I know,
phone out
right?
and I start recording. I'm just watching them. And they're fighting for like 5 minutes. Just rolling around on the ground, hitting each other. I'm recording with my camera. And
You're
there's
just
like
in there
three
recording.
other old...
World star.
Yeah, of course I'm recording. Like, what am I... Dude, here's something you need to know about China. If there are people getting in a fight and having a disturbance in China, and they're both Asian Chinese people, you don't want to get involved in that, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
like it's almost like a racist mob mentality. Like, if you try to get in and break it up, they're like, "Who's this white guy?" And then they'll like start putting all their anger on you. So you just stay out of that shit, man. It's
I remember you telling me that when we were down there. So I was like, all right, I
yeah,
ain't
yeah,
breaking up a fight.
yeah. If you see a fight or something, you just stand back. You can record it on your phone and do whatever, go on your way. The thing is, these dudes are on the ground. They're rolling around fighting, and there's like three old guys standing around, and they're just watching, man. They're like 2, 3 feet away, just watching these two young kids fight. The old guys are smoking their cigarettes, just watching the guys fight, not even doing anything, just kind of looking at each other occasionally. And finally, 3 or 4 minutes goes by, and one of the old guys kind of takes a step forward. He just waves his hand. He's like, "Okay, that's enough." Waves his hand. That's enough. And the dudes get F off each other. They stand up and they go back to work at the restaurant that they were working at. And they're working at the exact same restaurant. And they just go back to work like nothing ever happened. And it was just like, what the fuck? Like, that's all it was. I didn't even know these guys worked together. I thought they were arguing over something completely random. They're fighting it out in front of the restaurant. Next thing you know, the fight's over. They get back up. They go back to work. One guy's back on the fryers. One guy's back bagging food inside the bag. And they act like nothing ever happened. And that's all it was. And it was just like, Jesus Christ. All right. That's China. Another day in China. That's how it goes.
Guy was just like, all right, look, y'all go outside and fight real quick.
Yeah, that's basically how it was. You guys go outside, duke it out, choke each other out, do what you gotta do, and then come back in here and make this order to go.
How are you not sick of that food?
I'm very sick of the food. Jody has because like I want to order out food all the time, and Jody's always like, "What are you gonna order?" And I want to say fucking McDonald's every time because I'm fucking tired of Chinese food, man. Because like if I
Dude,
order Chinese food, it's like the same thing every time, man. I'll fucking order like some cabbage or some fried rice or some barbecue meat skewers or like eggplant, and that's it. And it's like the same repetitive. Dude,
there's a lot of
Chinese food is
variety
so
here. There's a lot of
fucking
variety here, but
boring.
in America, but you get, I still get caught up in just kind of eating the same shit, even here.
They have literally the exact same menu. They all sell rice, eggplant, potatoes, fucking broccoli, cauliflower. They all sell the same things, and they all sell the exact same way. So it doesn't matter where you go. Like you can just order the same thing at every single spot you go to, and that's just what you're gonna eat for the night. And it's delicious. Like the first yeah
Yeah.
maybe 6 months maybe,
No, it's good,
but then after a while it's kind of like fuck, I gotta eat this again. Yeah. Man, like you almost become appreciative that like, oh shit, we have KFC here. We have McDonald's here. We have Burger King here. But the thing about those restaurants too is like the menus are different. Like you don't get the same
Yeah.
food at McDonald's, Burger King, KFC that you get back home. At KFC, man, you can order a bucket of fried chicken and a 4 pack of Budweiser.
What? That's a game changer, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you get a bucket of fried chicken and a 4 pack of Budweiser 16-ounce cans. That's like a value meal for KFC here. It's fucking crazy.
Do they have a Popeyes?
Man, no, they ain't got no damn Popeyes. Dude, they're racist here. They're not gonna allow, they ain't gonna allow Popeyes chicken. Have you seen the spokesperson for Popeyes? China won't allow that shit, man.
Oh
They don't
my
like black
God.
people here in China.
Where are you
Dude, they don't
going
like
with
black
this?
people here in China. I'm telling you, they don't like black people here in China, man.
Well,
They're racist.
it was fun doing this podcast with you.
It's not me. It's just the culture around here, man. It's the
Yeah.
culture. Like, I thought I got stared a lot as a white person. Jesus, if I'm hanging out with a black person, it escalates like twice as much. Like, people don't understand that like China has just recently opened up to like, visitors coming in within the past like 20 years. Like
Yeah.
they're not accustomed to seeing people other than Chinese people. So especially when black people come in, they're like, "What is that?" Like it's weird, man. That's just how it is, man.
They probably hate white people the same.
Who? Chinese people
The
hate white
Chinese,
people?
maybe like the old school Chinese dudes, like, you know how it is. Like they have that.
Yo, it's like
racist
an
vibe.
extreme actually. It's kind of like either they really like you or they hate you. Like there's no like oh it's just
Yeah.
another white guy. No no no. That's
Shit that.
like they like you or they hate you. And you see that all like when you take taxis and shit. Like you hop in a taxi and either a driver is gonna like try to talk to you the whole time like oh where are you from? What do you do? Blah blah blah. Or they just like, where are you going? And then they turn up the radio and try not to talk to you the rest of the time.
I would be that
Like,
guy.
there's no middle line, man. Like,
I would be that guy
but
for sure.
but it's
Like, don't
understandable,
talk.
man. Like I said, it's a different culture out here, man. Like that's just how they are, man. They haven't been exposed to the rest of the world. They're so kind of like in their own bubble, you know, in a bubble that has yet to be popped, and like that's just all they know. That's what they understand, and so that's how they live. And you can't fault them for it. It's just China,
Yeah.
man. You just have to understand it and accept it. So it is what it is. You
Dude,
know?
if you drove for Uber, you would be the type to talk to the
Oh
passengers.
man, man, and you know I actually probably could drive for Uber here, but it's not Uber, it's Didi. But I probably could because you know it gives you the map quest of where to go. Um, Man, I think that would really flip a lot of Chinese people out. Like they hop into a random
Oh
car and they
yeah, I
see a
know,
white
right?
guy driving. They'll be
That
like,
would be wild.
whoa,
Like,
whoa,
just obey the traffic laws like you do here in America. Drive real slow. Drive real slow, dude. Just see what they
whoa.
do.
That could work.
They would
Dude, the
trip.
driving here is crazy. You know, at intersections you have green lights, you know, everybody goes straight. But like there's no green arrows at the intersections. And so like when a light turns green, if you need to make a left turn, you pull in front of traffic trying to go straight and you make your fucking left turn whenever you can make it. It's like
Dude.
it makes no sense at all, and I'm fascinated by it every time I see it happen at intersections. And it's just like I don't understand how there
Yeah,
aren't more
it's
wrecks than there are. But whatever, man, it is what it is. Culture. You get used to it.
it's gnarly.
Dylan, oh, you don't give a shit about this. I don't even know why I'm gonna ask you about it. I was gonna
No,
ask you
let's
about.
try. Let's mix it up.
You want to try? You want to try? Do you want to try to talk about football?
Tom Brady. That's all I gotta say.
Tom.
I don't know. I don't know what that means. Dude, last time I watched football, Troy Aikman was the quarterback for Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Dylan, ah, man, I can't talk to you about
What happened?
football.
Tell me.
I can't
People
tell
love
you.
football.
People love football, but you don't love football. I could try to tell you something, and
Yeah, I do. I do actually. I used to play football, and I grew up in Texas when
do you mean
Dallas was like
soccer?
the shit. Football. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Football.
Oh, okay, okay. See, that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah.
See, that's how we're different, man. You get excited about hunting season. I get excited about football, and they start at the exact same time.
I know. That's why. Yeah, maybe we should just call this elk in the end zone.
Elk in the end zone, dancing in the end zone,
Yeah,
hunting in the end zone.
like angels in the outfield.
Angels, maybe like,
You remember that show?
of course, angels in the outfield, man. Don't you remember, like, man, flapping your wings? That dude had a pop fly coming at him. He had a pop fly coming at him, and he just starts flapping his arms. Like, man, get your hand up. Catch that fucking ball. What are you doing?
That movie made me a Christian.
It saved your soul. That's funny.
Yeah,
That was a good movie. You have to admit, man, that was a good movie.
that was like that's some like Indian in the cupboard era.
Oh my God, the Indian in the cupboard. Man, how could I forget a movie like that? The little toy Indian.
Dude,
How did that end? What happened with that movie? Did the Indian die in the end? He got shot with an arrow, right?
uh, I don't remember. There's no way I would remember.
Oh man.
I don't remember shit, dude.
Do I remember like when I was a kid? There was this. My parents would always purchase these films. They were called the line of films
VHS
were called
tapes.
feature films for families, right? Feature films for family. There
Yeah.
was one that was called the
Homeward
Buttercream
Bound.
Gang. No. It's called the
Oh, I know which
Buttercream
one you're talking
Gang.
about. Shawshank.
Yeah, dude. Family film, best family film of all time. There's another one called
The Green Mile. Big Green.
Maybe it was something like that. Buttercream Gang. Damn, man, you're throwing off my train of thought.
You're talking about The Outsiders.
Oh, man, there was one called The Boy Who Could Fly.
Belly.
The Boy
The
Who
Boy
Could
Who
Fly.
Could Fly.
And that's all I remember. That's all I remember about the movie is like at the end, this boy started
The
flying. And I
title?
was like, oh, shit. He can fly.
They waited till the very end.
Yeah, of course. They just built it up, this big crescendo into the end. And finally he was standing on the peak of this roof, and then like he started flying, and then the movie ended, and you're like, oh shit, okay.
I love when they do that. Like, drop the name of the movie in the movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You ever hear that? Like, say Point Break, and then he's like, we got to get out of here. It's Point Break. You're like, oh my God, he said it.
He said it.
He said it.
He said it. That's where they got the title. Right there. Did y'all hear that?
Yes.
Rewind
We're
it.
in Zombieland. Yeah. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh man, it's true. Hey, dude, I've been watching this really cool show on Netflix recently called Money Heist. Have you heard of it?
No.
Do you like movies about like bank robberies and like well thought out plans and shit? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Documentary. I love documentary.
Man, it's not really man, I don't think it really happened. It could have really happened, maybe actually. It's possible. But there's a show on Netflix called Money Heist. It's about like this group of people that get together to like rob like the Mint of Spain, and they have everything figured out. Everything. They know every situation that's going to happen, and they know how to prepare for it. And when everything comes up, they're like, oh yeah, we can do this, and it's man, it's all in Spanish, so I don't know what the fuck they're saying during the whole show. But I do know that they're really
you gotta
good at
read
shooting.
Subtitles?
No, I don't. There's subtitles. I don't
You gotta
know.
read them or what? It's all in
I don't know.
Spanish.
I just watched it in Spanish and just like watched the show, and everybody they seemed that it all worked out okay. So I don't know what they said.
Are you kidding?
But the
You
movie's
watched the
pretty
entire
good.
show in Spanish.
Yeah.
How do you even know what it's about? There was no subtitles and it was in Spanish?
Well,
You
you
don't
can, I
speak
mean, you
Spanish.
can kind of like make it up as you go, right?
You should do movie reviews.
Maybe it's better with subtitles. I mean, I thought it was good without, and I didn't understand what the fuck they were saying. So maybe if I watched it again with like English subtitles, yeah, it could be good. Maybe I'll do that. I might do that next week.
I just
Yeah,
don't
man.
understand, like, why your Netflix is in Spanish. Is it 'cause you're VPN?
No. The show is in Spanish, man. It's a Spaniard show. So they were just talking in their native tongue, and I just went with it. It's kind of nice. Like you can kind of like make the words up as you go, and like kind of make your own story out of it, like while you watch it. That's kind of fun.
Like the days of silent film. We should do a silent podcast.
Yeah, just like an hour of. Yeah, man, people would catch on to that. Especially the deaf
Just like-
community.
Podcast for deaf
They
people.
would love that. Yeah. Podcast for deaf. Like, what if you did something like to where you started it and just like it was on video, but like on the screen just says like "We'll be right back," but you never came back. And just see.
How long do you think people would wait?
Yeah. How long people would tune in until they're just like, oh yeah. So you could do that. So you could say like "We'll be right back," but then you take that message away and then just leave a blank screen for the next 30 minutes and see who still pays attention.
Yeah. It's just like a social experiment.
Yeah. That's all it would be.
It's for science. Science!
Maybe that would work. Maybe it could be interesting.
Dude, have you seen this thing where people, you know how you got these betting apps?
And what kind of apps?
Like betting. Betting
Betting?
apps. Like,
Bet. Oh, betting, like with a T. Betting apps.
What do
Oh,
you
I think
think I
the
was saying?
betting apps like you can go on and like buy a new comforter or
Oh
some
my
sheets
god.
or something. At least in a betting app,
You might
man.
be
Like
onto
get your
something.
new mattress topper or a comforter.
Anyways,
Yeah, yeah.
these guys go to these tennis games, right? You have one dude at the game and another dude at the house betting on the tennis match. Every time some dude scores a point, the umpire, he'll turn and he'll enter it in his device, and then the point will register. So the dude
Oh,
at the game will tell the guy at the house, hey, bet real quick on this dude scoring a point, and then he'll like double his money like that because of for that like 1 to 4 seconds, the guy will tell the guy at the house to place the bet.
oh, I know what you're talking about. There's a name for this. It's cheating, right?
Seeding?
Cheating.
No. The fact that it takes the umpire a few seconds to put in the score, and this dude's here, he already seen what happened, so he'll send it to his buddy and be like, hey, bet real quick. Then his buddy has like 3 seconds he has to bet
Oh,
before the umpire puts in the
oh,
score.
that's fast. There definitely has to be like cheating in sports at the higher level, right? Like at the professional level. Like there's definitely like some inside shit
Oh,
going
for
on.
sure.
Like do you think referees like know like what the line is and stuff, and they know like what people are betting, and then like they influence the outcome of games because of all the money that's on it and shit? Like, do you think that that
I,
happens in professional sports? I think it
Look
happens.
at the whole FIFA organization got into trouble like, what, 5 years ago or
Yeah.
something for being shady. And I just watched a boxing match in China where the dude obviously like totally threw the match. I mean, it was so obvious.
It's like you want to
It's
believe
fucked
in
up.
truth and what's really happening. No, I think that shit happens all the time too, man. I like gambling. I like gambling on sports and stuff. But man, there's definitely some shady shit that happens sometimes.
You should gamble more.
Don't tell my wife that. Dude, there was this thing that happened last year in the playoff game between the fucking Rams and the Saints, to where it was a like blatant pass interference call, like your uh, dude, fucking Stevie Wonder could have seen that like it was a pass interference call, right? But it didn't get called, and then like it ended up changing the outcome of the game, and it was a huge dispute over it, and it's because of things like that that's like it's so blatantly obvious, but yet it still gets called the other way. That's just like okay,
Yeah, it's weird when they could just reverse the call, right?
yeah, it's crazy. But whatever, man. It's sports. I guess that's what keeps it exciting. That's what keeps people coming back. And
What, cheating?
man, not necessarily cheating, but just like the unknown of what's gonna happen every game, man. Sometimes it's teams that make shit happen. Sometimes the refs influence a lot of shit. I mean, like you just don't know. But that's what makes sports exciting, is because like every game, something different could happen, and you just don't ever know. And it's a roller coaster, man. It's an emotional ride. That's why I like sports so much, you know.
I just don't get it. I don't get the
Man,
sports.
Oklahoma, ooh, Oklahoma, Oklahoma.
College football
Uh,
especially, like you got these 18-year-old dudes, and then you got all these old dudes
yeah,
rooting for these 18-year-old guys. It just, to me, it makes me kind of uncomfortable.
you don't like that?
I just think it's strange. I don't know.
It's a little strange. The way college football has become, man,
Annoying. Annoying. Yeah.
it's not annoying, man. It's not annoying. It's become a,
Oh, it's a huge part of the culture in America. I don't know. Sports are all right. I like UFC. I like fighting, MMA. That's the best sport ever.
dude. Did you see that fight a couple weeks ago? Did you see Cormier get knocked out?
Yeah, yeah. Got knocked out by Stipe. They could fight again, though, I think, right? Was that their third fight or their second fight? I can't remember.
I think it was a second.
So they should fight again.
I remember I was eating my cup of noodles, and I saw it happen, and like I spit half of my noodles out, and it was fucking crazy.
You see the fights yesterday?
No, I didn't, man.
Habib.
I know I saw the only thing I saw of that fight was like the end of the fight where dude jumped like out of the cage and like hugged Dana White. No, I didn't see the actual fight though, but I don't know. Was it good? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. It was pretty predictable, like Habib choked him out in the third.
Man, do you think that's bullshit? Like, is that kind of a pussy move to like submit somebody, or do you think like
No,
it's better to like actually knock him out?
I want to see a knockout for sure, but You got to be good at defending submissions.
Man, I get that point of view, but like it's a fight. Like I want to like put it into a street fight situation, right? Like if some dude takes you out to the ground and puts him like a full Nelson or arm bar or something like that.
You
Like
could break
are the
his
people
arm.
around watching the fight gonna be like boo, like hit him in the face.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's why you just go watch boxing
I
or
understand like the
kickboxing.
logistics of it's professional fighting. You do what you got to do to win the fight, and submission is kind of the winning fights. But it's a fight.
Yeah.
Knock the dude out, man.
Was
Like
mixed martial arts, That's why you need to watch kickboxing.
kickboxing school. Kickboxing school. Man, we went to a Thai fighting in Thailand when we went earlier this
Yeah,
summer.
you
That
told
was
me
pretty
about
cool
that.
to
Like the
watch.
lady
There's
man.
a lot of young kids, dude, too, man. They were like 16 and 17-year-old kids in there fighting in those fights. It was pretty interesting.
67.
16, 17-ish. Yeah, 67, yeah. Hold my walker while I go knock this dude out.
Old man strength.
We're going back to Thailand next week.
Are you really next week?
Yeah, dude, we're going to go to Bukaki,
A
what's the name
bukkake.
of that town? Oh, Phuket. Phuket. We're going to go to Phuket for 5 days.
Isn't a bukkake like a big orgy?
Yeah, dude, there's a bunch of dudes like jerking off on a girl's face, and she just gets like covered in sperm.
What?
Not my thing, man. Like I watch porn sometimes. I don't really appreciate the bukkake.
That's
vibe.
why you were like,
It's not,
we're going to a
no.
bukkake. I'm thinking, does he know what that is?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take Jody to Thailand and let a bunch of dudes just jerk off on her face. Happy birthday!
So the lady man, you went and watched him fight, right? Did he win?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Man, I think he did win that fight. I have it on video on my phone. I need to go back and watch. I think he did win the fight though, which makes sense. Of course, the guy is gonna knock out a chick every single time he fights her. That doesn't make sense, man. And I disagree with that.
Oh,
There's been a lot of things that happen with that, like back in the States. Like dudes being like, I identify as a woman in high school, but they go and wrestle against other women in high school, and they're like, oh, I won a state championship. I'm the best.
Yeah, it's so fucked up.
What the fuck? You wrestled a chick. You're a dude. That's not fair, dude. Letting dudes identify as women and then compete in women's sports. I don't like that, man.
No.
Like I'm all for like, man, if you want to identify as a woman, that's fine. If you want to identify as a fucking dog, do what you got to do to make yourself feel happy. But don't start competing in that field against other sexes or species. That's unfair. That's unfair.
You know Henry Cejudo
No, I don't.
from the UFC? He's like that. I don't know. I guess he's a lightweight. He has 2 belts actually in like 2 different weight classes, and he's a gold medalist in the Olympics for wrestling. They call him Triple C because he's like triple champ, like nobody's ever done that before. And so he's so cringy, man. Like, and he's trying to, or he's like making this thing online. He's gonna fight, I think Amanda Nunes for the intergender belt.
Intergender?
Yeah, that's what
UFC is even allowing an intergender belt?
No, he's just being silly.
Come on.
I think he's just trying to like
Okay.
stir people up. But like the thought about it, because I bet there's people out there that are like, I think she could take him.
See, here's the thing is like, man, this is just going to get out of control, right? Like, people are going to start being like, okay, it starts off as, I identify as a woman. I have a penis, but I think I'm a woman, so I deserve women's rights, blah, blah, blah. Well, where does that stop? What if somebody is like, I identify as a cat. I'm getting on this airplane. Where's my scratching post?
Yeah.
You won't give me a scratching post? I want a refund. I'm a cat. Like, what the fuck? Where is this going to end where you can identify as whatever the fuck you want
Yeah.
and then, like, get away with shit and sue people because they don't conform to, like, what you identify as?
It's kind of a superpower.
I identify as a cat. I need a litter box. This toilet is unacceptable to me.
Yeah, I don't see how these people are morphing like this. It's amazing.
Like, how extreme can people get of what you identify as?
I'd like to learn how to do it.
Yeah, right? There could be a profit in that, too, man. It's just like,
I'm Native American,
is that what, if you could choose anything to identify as, you want to identify as Native American?
Are you going to be an animal? Like if you're morphing into something or like a laptop?
Well, okay, well, let's think about like what's kind of like realistic of like somebody would actually try to identify as,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Like there
okay,
are some people who would try to be like, I identify as a cat as they like lick their wrist in their hand and like, comb their hair back on their head
okay. So you're still in human form. So what will I enjoy
as a cat.
most acting as, right? Definitely not a chair. That would.
Well, it's not like what you enjoy most acting as. Like, do you feel like you could identify personally as something else other than a man who loves to hunt?
Um, sure. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. And I could just see it like getting taken to the most extreme situations, like I said, like on planes or in
Yeah.
restaurants or
They'll be on the airplane and they're giving out meals and they're like, I can't eat this. They're like, this is all we got. He's like, well, I'm a vegan or like, it's my religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't eat meat or something. So they have to get him like a special meal.
man, what are some things you could identify as? Maybe like a
What do you want to be? Like a goat? You're trying to
I don't
identify
know. Yeah, maybe you want to be a goat. I want to identify as a goat.
a llama? I was
It
thinking,
could go anywhere.
you said the Rams and the Saints. Imagine like if the
Oh
players were
yeah.
who they said they were. They were actual Vikings.
I think the Saints would win because the Rams wouldn't do anything. They would just eat grass on the field the whole time. They wouldn't give a fuck, right?
They got the horns. They got this
So the
helmet
Saints
on,
would just
dude.
be running circles around them, and the Rams would just be like, I'm hungry. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna eat some of this grass, this delicious grass on this field. Go ahead, score a touchdown. I don't
I
care.
think all the animals are going to be screwed, especially the fish. Like the dolphins, like
What if you get somebody like the Patriots against the
yeah,
Vikings?
yeah.
That could be good.
That'd be fun to see.
Because like the Patriots, they'd be like, down, set, hut, and then they just pull out their gun and shoot the other offensive lineman, right?
Dude, if this was football, I would be so into it. You know, like if this was actual football.
If like the teams had to actually be like what their mascot
Exactly.
was. But I don't know, man. I think birds would probably have an advantage over like the people teams, man. Because like they could just fly high and nobody would be able to like take them down, unless it's somebody like the Buccaneers who just shoot them out of the sky
Yeah,
and then recover the fumble and
yeah,
like
yeah.
that could work. What about like the Bears and the Lions?
Oh shit. I think I would go for the bear.
I think you might have to go for the Bears, right?
Man, those bears, man. If you got
I think
grizzlies,
the Lions are faster, but the Bears are stronger.
bears are faster than a horse. Do you know that?
No, Bears aren't faster than a
Bet,
horse.
dude, a grizzly bear is faster than a horse. Yeah,
Where did you read that?
on a Snapple cap. Google it or whatever y'all got. What do y'all got over there? Alibaba it,
Well, okay, so then that's a good matchup. Then the Bears and the Colts.
dude. The Grizzlies. If it's grizzly bear, they're gonna destroy
Colts.
everything. You know.
But they don't specify what kind of bear they are. They could be the fucking panda bears against the whoever the
What if it's a
lions.
variety of bears? You know what I mean? You got black, polar, koala.
Just all the bears. Yeah, yeah. So like the black, the brown, the panda.
Everybody forgets about the koalas.
Yeah, yeah. What position would a koala bear play?
Tight end,
No, it's gotta be big and strong. A koala bear,
kicker.
maybe like a punter. Yeah, because they don't have to do anything but just kick the ball. So like they're a pretty weak part of the team.
They have no legs.
Yeah, they couldn't kick it very far. Yeah, they would be pretty shitty at that job. That's true.
I would probably put the grizzly at left tackle and center. It'd be like the Ray Lewis, whatever that position maybe. I'm, I don't know. So dumb.
Dude, something big happened a couple months ago. So there was this foreign teacher at this school, actually here in Qingdao too, here in China.
Ding dong.
He was a teacher. He was a teacher in a kindergarten class, and supposedly something happened during the class where like the kids were having nap time, and he put his hand underneath a blanket for longer than he should have, and he got caught for it, and it blew up really big all over China news because like they're saying he basically like molested one of his students. And so there's been like a huge like crackdown and surveillance over like basically all the foreign teachers here in China, and they're changing a bunch of laws around it and shit too
Jeez.
about like who, just the regulations of who can like come over here and stuff because of like one guy who
Yeah.
made a well more than made a bad choice, but he fucked up, but it like
Yeah.
messed with a lot of other people's status and shit over here. it's like caused more raids on like bars and stuff, especially in some of the bigger cities like Shanghai, Shenzhen, things like that.
Oh, with
The
the
police have been taking like more of a crackdown and
damn.
like going to bars that they know that like foreigners, frequent and stuff, and they'll be going in and basically raiding bars at random times
Wow.
and checking people's passports and making them like, like drug tests on the spot and shit like that. And it's basically like kind of sweeping throughout the country right now because of one incident that happened, and it's crazy.
Damn, that's wild.
It's weird how a country reacts to an incident,
Yeah.
It's different, very different.
What about Hong Kong? You
So
been over there to Hong
it's
Kong?
interesting. I haven't been to Hong Kong, man. I want to go to Hong Kong. It seems like a really cool city. But man,
The
all the
protest.
shit that's going on in Hong Kong right now, like with their protests and all that, it's bizarre. It's been happening for like 2 months, and we see it all the time. Well, social media, like we see what's happening. Obviously, like here in China, like they don't show that shit like on their news and stuff because if they do, it's pro-China, negative Hong Kong of what they show
Yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
of like what they're trying to do in the city. But yeah, I mean that's an interesting situation. It's gonna be interesting to see like how it all plays out. Because China wants to take over Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is refusing strongly. So it'll be interesting to see like how hard China actually pushes to make it happen. Like, are they gonna send in military? Um, like, what's gonna happen?
Hmm.
It's very, very
Yeah, it
interesting.
is kind of spooky too, because everybody refers back to that incident in '89 where I guess they killed a bunch of protesters, like a bunch, and then just kind of covered it up,
Hmm.
try to cover it up, you know?
Well, there's that thing that happened in Tiananmen Square that happened in Beijing. I think that was yeah, 80s, early 90s. But yeah, basically a bunch of like high school or not high school, but like college
Yeah.
students protesting against the government. Yeah, dude, and they brought in the fucking military and were like running people over with tanks and shit, and
Damn, man, that's fucked up.
really, really big deal. Put a really bad look on China. But man, it's crazy. Like there's a possibility of something similar happening
Yeah.
like soon in Hong Kong. So it's interesting to watch. It's interesting to follow, and it's definitely something that everybody should follow because it could be a historic, you know, changing of tides
Yeah.
sooner than later. So
It puts you on edge. All this shit puts you on edge, you know?
yeah, it puts you on the edge a little bit. But it's kind of weird to like think about things that like that could happen that are like could be so dramatic that like it's a part of history and like you're kind of a part of history when it happens and you never really know until later that like oh shit I was a part of that, I
Yeah.
experienced
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It is.
um
It's weird.
it's interesting to think about. So
Yeah.
yeah, we follow it, man. We keep a close eye on it. We kind of see what's happening. It'll be just interesting, that's all I can say. Interesting to see what happens. So anyway, so what's happening, man? What are you gonna be doing this next week?
It's depressing. I'm be in the woods, boy. I'm be on the mountain.
No work, no job for this next week. Just get out and try to fill your freezer.
Yes. Yep.
But you're only taking a bow with you, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's bow until October 26th. Then people get to use rifles till I think December 1st.
So tell me, how hard is it to sneak up on a deer or an elk using the bow? Do you basically have to like stay where you're at and hope that they come to you?
I find it a lot easier to get up on an animal in the mountains, but it's a lot more physically
Huh,
demanding, you know, because you're gaining
sure.
elevations and dropping in elevation and gaining elevations all the time. And
You go out there before sunrise.
yeah, I got out there at 6 yesterday
How
to
long do you
get
sit
it.
out there before you call it quits?
I was there for like 6 hours.
In the same spot?
No, no, no. I was like kind of stalking around. I stopped at that one spot and was just glassing for a while. I found a few deer, you know, out in the field, but they were just mule deer does, and I'm not looking for that.
Yeah,
So I spotted a cow.
that's
I was
interesting.
within, I had her at like 700 yards at first, and then she's kind of walking towards me, and I was kind of stalking in towards her, but I got within like 200 yards and just kind of lost sight of her.
I think that's the craziest thing to think about is, man, you kill an animal that weighs 1,000 pounds and you have to make, a couple of trips or at least to get everything back to where you need to go.
Yeah,
Seems like it's a lot of work, man.
you got to quarter it out in the field and then keep the meat cooled, and you put it in game bags, and then You either hang it up if you're in bear country, or you can just kind of stash it in some shade, and then you got to make several trips. If you're just
Dude, bear country. That would be shit.
yeah.
Well, good luck to you, man. I know last year we talked about a lot about like you hunting and trying to get an elk and didn't really have much success, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you this year. That'd be awesome. There hasn't been too much happening around here, man. Definitely can't go hunting
I
in these
know that
parts.
sucks.
There's been some fun shit going on though around the city, man. There's a group of guys. Last week, we had a volleyball tournament on the beach. You pay like 88 kwai, which is like $13.
Oh shit.
You get it's like $13 a piece. Everybody gets a T-shirt for their team. It's a volleyball tournament on the beach. They bring out a bunch of kegs, so it's like all you can drink beer. You play in the tournament. Winners get trophies and shit. So they did that last week, and then this week coming up tomorrow, they're doing a basketball tournament, 3-on-3. So I got a squad with a couple of my friends, and we're going to play a basketball tournament. Same thing, 88 kwai. They're bringing out kegs, all you can drink. Everybody gets jerseys and shorts, like basketball jerseys and shorts. We just play a big tournament, just basketball tournament, and it's going to be all afternoon on the beach, drinking, playing, and just having fun.
What's your team name?
Dude, we're the Tropics.
The Tropics?
Like off of
Tropic Thunder?
fucking... Yeah.
You know that movie?
No, not
Or
Tropic
Tropic
Thunder, but like
Thunder.
off of like that
Will Ferrell?
dude, that Will Ferrell movie, Jackie Moon, and
yeah.
what's
Is that their name? Just the Tropics?
yeah. Well, the name on the movie is they're the Flint Tropics.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
That is so
yeah, so we have pink jerseys and we're called the Tropics.
They like
It'll be
Will
fun.
Ferrell?
What do you mean? Who's they? Chinese people?
Yeah. How do they know that reference?
Oh, well, it's a bunch of foreigners that are doing this tournament. Like it's all like expats and
Oh
foreigners.
shit.
There's
Okay.
very few Chinese people that play. Yeah, dude, there's a big community of like foreigners that do this shit. So like same thing with volleyball last week. Just all foreigners and expats here in the city just get together and do this stuff. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's such an experience, man, out there. It's so foreign to like what I'm used to. The town we live in now has like 1,000 people.
1,000 people in your town?
Yeah, maybe. I think there's under 1,000.
Dude, I see probably 3,000 different people a day.
There's probably over 1,000 people in your building.
Just like commuting to work and shit.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, at
Like
least.
your
Yeah,
building
that's crazy.
could house the entire town that I live in right now.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, dude, we're definitely in two different worlds, man.
It is wild.
Two very different worlds.
What time is it there? It's 9:30 a.m. here, 9:34.
Oh, 11:34. I was about to say, I need to change my clock. It's 11:34.
11:34 p.m.
I might be up for a little bit though, man, because like I think I might have a friend come over here soon. Fucking NFL football
Oh,
comes
word.
on very soon.
Who's playing today? The Red Sox?
Everybody's playing, man. It's week 1. So I might have a friend come over in a little bit and we'll have a couple of drinks and start watching week 1 of NFL football at 1 a.m.
Who you going for?
Stay up till 3, 4 a.m. and then finally go to bed.
You gonna work tomorrow?
Nah, man, today's my last day. Like I said, so I'll have off Monday and Tuesday, and then we work Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'll have 5 days off for a holiday, and that's when we're going to Thailand.
Damn, it's perfect to record on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, Sundays are good.
What about when you go to
Sundays are
Thailand? How long are you gonna be there?
So we'll leave Thursday night and come back like Tuesday afternoon.
Thursday night.
So I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could because I don't think we'll take Jody's laptop.
Yeah.
Man, I want to add more comedy. We've talked about a lot of stuff and we've just kind of had regular conversation, but I think we need to. There should be definitely more
Laughing.
like comedy.
Yeah,
points. Yeah,
For sure. Yeah, I didn't have any talking points. I wrote down tennis. So,
That's it.
yeah, and then I drew half a football.
You wrote down one word. We didn't even fucking talk about this.
Yeah, we talked about the betting. Remember?
Yeah.
And then we kind of went at like
Definitely.
blind, deaf, black, Chinese people.
Fucking hate those people.
So I'll delete that.
What do you think about names? Have you thought about something more in a name? Do you want to stop recording right now, or are we good?
Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and stop. It's fine.
All right, I'm stopping.